garden that blooms for 3 spectacular weeks and then spends the rest of the year looking emotionally unavailable is not a pollinator garden. It is a seasonal press release. Bees and butterflies need a sequence of food from the first mild days of spring until cold weather finally shuts the buffet down. No single native perennial truly blooms non-stop from spring through frost in every climate. That promise belongs in the same department as miracle fertilizer and tomatoes that taste like childhood. The smarter approach is a relay team. These 9 North American natives overlap their bloom periods, so something is always open. Check each species against your region, soil, and moisture before planting. Number 1. Golden Alexanders. Golden Alexanders begin the relay in spring with flat yellow flower clusters. They support early bees and beneficial insects, and their foliage can feed black swallowtail caterpillars. They handle sun to part shade and average moisture. After flowering, the seed heads add structure while later plants take over. This is the reliable opening act that does its job and leaves before demanding an encore. Number 2. Wild Columbine. Wild Columbine hangs red and yellow flowers from airy stems in spring. Hummingbirds and long-tongued bees visit the nectar-rich blooms, especially along woodland edges and rocky slopes. It tolerates part shade and well-drained soil, then often reseeds into cracks and gaps. The plant looks delicate, but it is perfectly capable of living in places where a petunia would ask to speak with management. Number 3. Foxglove Beardtongue. Foxglove Beardtongue carries the garden into late spring and early summer with white tubular flowers. Bumblebees squeeze inside, often disappearing completely before backing out dusted with pollen. The plant handles sun to part shade and average soil, including some clay. Its upright stems look clean and intentional, which is useful when the rest of the habitat garden is beginning to develop its summer hair. Number 4. Landsleaf Coreopsis. Landsleaf Coreopsis takes over with bright yellow daisies in late spring and early summer. It tolerates lean soil and drought after establishment, then often reblooms if cut back after the first flush. Leave some seed heads for birds and self-sowing. Deadhead every flower and you may get more bloom, but you also remove dinner. The garden does not exist solely to maintain your preferred level of tidiness. Number 5. Wild Bergamot. Wild Bergamot brings lavender flowers and a minty scent through midsummer. Bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds use it heavily. It spreads gradually and can form a broad colony in sun or light shade. Powdery mildew may appear in humid weather, especially when air circulation is poor. Choose resistant local forms when possible and avoid watering the foliage late in the day. A few spotted leaves are not grounds for botanical criminal investigation. If this bloom relay is useful, subscribe. We design gardens for the entire season, not one glamorous weekend in May. Number 6. Mountain Mint. Mountain mint overlaps summer with dense clusters of tiny pale flowers. The individual blooms are small, but the insect activity is not. Native bees, butterflies, beetles, and predatory wasps gather in remarkable numbers. Choose a species suited to your region and moisture level. Many spread by rhizomes, so give them a defined zone. A plant that feeds half the neighborhood is allowed to take up more than 18 inches. Number 7. Blazing Star. Blazing Star adds purple vertical spikes in mid to late summer. The flower sequence often moves down the stem, extending the display and giving butterflies repeated landing sites. Monarchs and swallowtails are frequent visitors. Dry prairie species need sharp drainage, while other species prefer richer or wetter ground. Match the species correctly. Liatris is a family name, not a single personality. Number 8. Showy Goldenrod. Showy Goldenrod lights up late summer and early fall with upright yellow plumes. It supports bees, butterflies, beetles, and beneficial wasps at a point when many conventional borders are running out of food. Goldenrod does not deserve the automatic allergy accusation it receives. Ragweed releases light airborne pollen at the same time. Goldenrod uses heavier insect-carried pollen and simply happens to be standing nearby wearing bright yellow. Number 9. Aromatic Aster. Aromatic Aster closes the relay with blue-purple daisies from early fall toward frost. It forms a broad, low mound in full sun and tolerates dry, poor soil once established. Pinch stems in early summer for a shorter plant with more branching. Late bees and migrating butterflies use the flowers when almost everything else is finished. This is the staff member who stays until closing, while the summer annuals have already left the group chat. Now, arrange these plants by season rather than by impulse. Put columbine and golden alexanders near paths where spring flowers can be seen. Use beard tongue and coreopsis through the middle. Let bergamot, mountain mint, and blazing star carry summer. Place goldenrod and aromatic aster in repeated drifts so the fall display feels deliberate. The second rule is overlap. Do not rely on one species per month. Weather shifts bloom times, deer eat stems, and an unexpected dry spell can shorten a display. Use at least 3 species blooming in each major season. Diversity is the backup generator. The third rule is quantity. A single aster bloom is useful, but a broad patch is easier for pollinators to find and more efficient to feed from. Plant in groups, repeat colors, and leave enough space for mature width. Finally, stop cutting the entire garden down in fall. Standing stems shelter insects. Seed heads feed birds, and the dried structure catches frost beautifully. Cut back in spring after temperatures warm and insects begin to emerge. A long blooming garden is not one magical plant performing for 8 months. It is 9 reliable plants handing the season from one to the next without dropping it. Build the relay, and your yard will keep serving food until frost finally turns off the lights.